Joan Rivers said that Michelle Obama was a man before she died.
Was that a joke? I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke too, but the way she said it wasn't like jokey. She was like, oh, come on, everybody knows Michelle Obama's a man.
Michelle Obama surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up. When she cleans it. When she cleans it.
President dies, everyone in the world shows up, and she doesn't break her vacation. It's not like she doesn't have access to a jet. Something is going on. Let's speculate.
Yes, please.
It's either surgery.
Oh.
That was my least controversial thing.
Depends what kind of surgery.
She will not sit close to the dictator. And by that, I don't mean Hillary, I mean Donald Trump. Or there's trouble in paradise between Barack and Michelle. I've heard things. I'm not going to substantiate that by repeating these rumors on national TV like I just did. But I'm just saying it's very odd that she's not there.
Yeah, we should ask Mike.
All right, buckle up, where we dive into the wild world of celebrity rumors and separate fact from fiction. Today, we're tackling a juicy topic that's been bouncing around the internet like a ping pong ball at a championship match. You've probably heard the whispers about Michelle Obama. Some say she's a cultural icon. Others claim she's hiding secrets bigger than her Netflix deal. So what's the deal? Is Michelle Obama the queen of empowerment or the master of a carefully curated brand? We're about to unpack this with Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld's razor-sharp takes, a sprinkle of humor, and zero filter. Hit that like button if you're ready for the truth, and let's dive in.
Joe Rogan is calling out Oprah and Michelle Obama for hypocritical speeches at the DNC. Watch.
She's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey, lady.
Yeah, I know.
You're rich as Like, how is that equal? And also, when Michelle Obama was saying, you know, I think she was saying her mother or grandmother was always suspicious of people who took more than they needed.
Yes.
Like, you are worth so much money.
Take more than they need. The Obamas have 4 mansions.
I mean, it's a bunch of rich people talking about rich people.
Hey, Michelle Obama has openly admitted that she and Barack sleep in separate bedrooms. Here's how it works. She sleeps downstairs and he likes men.
Michelle Obama, former First Lady, best-selling author, and the woman who made kale a personality trait. She's been on magazine covers, red carpets, and every inspirational Instagram post your aunt shares. But lately, the internet's been buzzing with rumors and hot takes from folks like Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld, who aren't afraid to call out what they see as contradictions in her public image. From school lunch reforms to million-dollar mansions, the narrative around Michelle is a roller coaster of admiration and skepticism. So why does this matter? Because in a world obsessed with authenticity, Michelle's brand is a master class in perception. Let's break it down and see what's really cooking.
Or the first woman
We already
president.
have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty funny how she said it.
Okay, we all know it. So
Michelle thinks American men suck.
Let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. To make these choices clear to the men that we love, our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment.
What's that pitter-patter sound I'm hearing in the background? It's the footsteps of Barack running to vote for Trump.
Let's start with one of Michelle's biggest legacies, her school lunch initiative. The goal was noble: get kids eating healthier. But the execution? Picture wilted spinach, soggy kale, and lentils that looked like they'd seen better days. Kids across America were trading their mystery mush for Twinkies on the cafeteria black market. Joe Rogan didn't hold back. joking that Michelle's lunch plan was less a health revolution and more a war on taste buds. Greg Gutfeld took it further, saying her menus were so bland they could double as punishment. The internet exploded with memes of sad lunch trays, and parents weren't thrilled either. Was it a genuine push for health or a top-down mandate that forgot kids actually need to want to eat their veggies? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Did Michelle's lunch plan hit or miss?
They know that they're having a hard time with men.
Right.
Doesn't seem like this is the right strategy.
No.
She basically says that they're hurting women by voting for Trump.
But I think they don't understand that where it comes from in the first place is that people are sick of being told how bad they are and talked down to, and you know, the condescension doesn't work. None of what they're doing really works. I mean, the Walls AOC live stream of them playing Madden together was supposed to be to get like dudes who like football on their side, and they did it during football.
Michelle's built an empire on empowerment. Her speeches are like TED Talks on steroids, full of buzzwords like resilience, authenticity, and finding your voice. She's got books, podcasts, and even a Netflix special that feels like a spiritual journey through her own ego. But Joe Rogan's been raising eyebrows, questioning how someone with 4 mansions can lecture about taking only what you need.
Someone put on Instagram, I believe, that Tim Dillon's video where he was saying that Michelle Obama should run for president. If she won, she could pull her cock out and China would just give up. I was fucking wheezing. I couldn't breathe. Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Greg Gutfeld's take? Her speeches are motivational sludge, like a Tony Robbins seminar held in a Whole Foods parking lot. The "when they go low, we go high" line became a bumper sticker for moral superiority, but critics argue it's passive-aggressive shade wrapped in a smile. Is Michelle's message genuinely uplifting, or is it just a polished brand? Drop your take below.
Even if they run Michelle. According to a new poll, Michelle Obama isn't as strong a Democratic candidate against former President Donald Trump as many Dems would have you believe. In a hypothetical matchup, my favorite kind, Trump wins with 47% of the vote compared to Michelle Obama's 44%. I guess some of the kids whose school lunches she ruined are finally old enough to vote. Remember that? And what?
Here's where things get spicy. Michelle's public persona screams relatability. She's just a mom who shops at Target, right? Except she's also got a stylist team, a personal chef, and a media consultant crafting her Instagram captions. Joe Rogan called her out for preaching about inequality while sitting on a fortune that could fund a small country. Greg Gutfeld piled on, joking that her idea of adversity is running out of organic quinoa at Whole Foods. The Obamas own multiple properties from Martha's Vineyard to Hawaii, yet Michelle's speeches often frame her as an underdog. It's a paradox that's hard to ignore. How do you champion simplicity while living like royalty? Let's hear your thoughts. Does wealth disqualify someone from being relatable? If you've ever read a headline about Michelle, you know the media treats her like a hybrid of Gandhi and Beyonce. A cardigan she wore once sparked entire op-eds. Her memoir, Becoming, was hailed as a literary masterpiece, though Gutfeld quipped, "It's more like a lifestyle blog with a hardcover spine." Joe Rogan's take is blunt. The glowing coverage feels suspicious, like the press is hiding something. Maybe it's just her knack for dodging tough questions with a perfectly rehearsed laugh. The media's love affair with Michelle is relentless, but is it earned or is it just good PR? Smash that subscribe button if you're as curious as we are, and let's keep digging. Michelle's fitness campaigns are legendary. She turned lunges into a national mandate and made exercise feel like a moral obligation. If you weren't doing planks while watching her on TV, you were part of the obesity crisis. Gutfeld joked that somewhere a donut cried itself to sleep. Rogan's take? Her fitness obsession feels like a lecture on self-righteousness, with a side of, do as I say, not as I do. Her parties were packed with organic spreads, but critics pointed out the irony of preaching health while hosting lavish feasts. Is fitness a universal good, or did Michelle turn it into a political statement? comment below with your thoughts. Yes, Michelle has a podcast because of course she does. It's like a warm bath of pseudo-wisdom, where every episode feels like therapy for people who've never been told no. Rogan played clips and swore he could hear himself aging from the condescension. Gutfeld mocked the idea of a Michelle Obama library, imagining it filled with her books, affirmation stones, and essential oils. The podcast is part of her brand, a mix of relatable anecdotes and polished platitudes. But does it connect with everyday people, or is it just preaching to the choir? If you've listened to her podcasts, drop a comment and tell us what you think. So what's the real Michelle Obama? Is she the empowering icon who redefined what it means to be a public figure, or a meticulously crafted brand manager disguised as a motivational guru? Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld have peeled back the layers, exposing a web of contradictions that make you question the narrative. From her school lunch initiative that left kids hungry for flavor to her empowerment speeches that feel like a masterclass in buzzwords, Michelle's story is a fascinating study in perception versus reality. Her ability to frame herself as an underdog while living in literal palaces is nothing short of remarkable. She's championed simplicity while dining like a Michelin reviewer, preached humility while basking in designer praise, and called for unity while building a brand that thrives on selective enlightenment. It's a tightrope walk that few could pull off, and yet she does it with a smile that could light up a Whole Foods aisle. But let's dig deeper. Michelle's greatest skill might be her knack for giving the illusion of depth while saying just enough to keep the crowd clapping. Her speeches are word salads with just the right amount of croutons to make you think you're eating something substantial. Her memoir, Becoming, reads like a journey through a perfectly curated Instagram feed, every anecdote polished, every struggle conveniently relatable. Rogan's been vocal about this, wondering how someone can pivot from lettuce campaigns to deep philosophical essays without ever answering the hard questions. Gutfeld's take is even sharper. Her public persona is like a lighthouse that only shines for those who already agree with her. If you dare to question the narrative, you're left in the dark, clutching your sad lentil loaf. And then there's the cultural impact. Michelle's turned fitness into a moral mandate, fashion into a diplomatic achievement, and hydration into a personality trait. You'd think she invented H2O the way she's branded drink water as a revolutionary act. Her podcast feels like a therapy session for the elite, her Netflix specials like a spiritual pilgrimage through her own ego. Yet the media eats it up, treating her every move like a defiant act of strength. A sneeze could be framed as a bold stand against patriarchal pollen, and CNN would probably run a special on it. This relentless adoration raises a question. Is Michelle's image earned, or is it the product of a PR machine that could sell kale to a carnivore? The rumors don't help. Whispers about her future plans, maybe a run for office, have fueled speculation that she's not done shaping the public stage. Gutfeld laughs at the idea, pointing out that nothing says political outsider like 16 years in the most powerful rooms in the world. Rogan's more skeptical, joking that if she released a perfume, it'd smell like moral superiority with a hint of steamed broccoli. The internet's meme factories are working overtime, churning out everything from big mic jokes to conspiracy theories that belong in a sci-fi novel. But strip away the noise and you're left with a core truth. Michelle Obama is a phenomenon. Whether you see her as an icon or a brand, she's mastered the art of being everywhere without ever really being anywhere. Her presence is ambient, like background jazz at a farmer's market, soothing, familiar, and just a little manipulative. So where do we land? Michelle Obama's legacy is a paradox wrapped in a yoga pose. She's inspired millions with her story of resilience, but her contradictions, preaching simplicity from mansions, championing health while hosting lavish feasts, make it hard to pin her down. Is she the Oprah of broccoli, the Dalai Lama of dumbbells, or just a savvy businesswoman who knows how to sell authenticity? Maybe she's all three. One thing's for sure, her brand is bulletproof, polished to a shine that deflects even the sharpest critiques. Rogan and Gutfeld have tried to chip away at it, but Michelle's still standing, smiling that megawatt smile, ready to drop another book or podcast episode that'll have her fans swooning and her critics groaning.